see if it comes up now and stays on. Limits are turned off, but it's working. Mike says. Chat. Okay, I think we're good. Watch now. Okay, it says it's live now. Yeah, okay. I think we're good. Okay, let me transition over. Okay. Oops.
Hello. Yeah, it just came back on. Somehow it defaulted to or yes, it was set for kids. So it took it down. So I got to find a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, I'm back on.
Yeah, that was my tech guy saying, yeah, that was the problem. So anyway, hold on, guys. Anyway, hey guys, we're back. We had a little problem there on the description of the broadcast, but we're back. So anyway, hopefully everybody can hear me. Last week, round one of Nora had 101 entries. Great job by everybody, the dirt crew, water crew, everybody that came. Great job, Evan Roth, for keeping the show going. On the first event of the year, a lot of things have to go into the computer for people that haven't been there and checked in. So appreciate that. But one of the big things when we started this channel, we want to make sure we can start getting guests on board, and a couple people that we have waiting right now patiently in their RC room is AJ and Joe. So let's talk to AJ and Joe. Hey guys, how we doing?
Not bad of yourself.
Pretty good. Thanks for taking the time and out of your guys' busy schedule to come on here, and we came up with some questions, Joe and AJ, and we talked a little bit last night about some of those questions and answers, and what you guys want to give back to the community and different things like that. So one of the things that people always ask me is, how'd you start getting into RC? So that was one of the questions that I want to kind of put to both of you, AJ and Joe, and AJ, kind of talk about, how many years you've been doing this, and what got you hooked maybe, or what kept you hooked, and what your first car was, and what type of RC you were doing back then to get you in the RC life or the RC world.
Yeah, so I started at obviously my local track, the Hank Perry. After one night at dinner at my grandparents' house, my dad decided to bring me to the track on a Saturday night. They were running a club race, and I thought it was pretty cool, and I wanted to get into it. So yeah, that was about around summer, spring of 2022. 21. And then I ended up wanting to get my own kit, so I got a team-associated two-wheel drive short course truck. And then I raced that novice for a little bit, did a few club races with that. I think I only podiumed about once, but clearly we've made up some ground since then. But no, I was hooked on it. I thought it was super fun, even though I wasn't very good at the time. I was just intrigued. I wanted to get better, and I was just dedicated with it.
Sure. What about you, Joe? What kind of, give a little history of your RC growing up, and how long you do it, and what are you doing now yourself, or are you still doing any RC?
So, I did RC as a young kid, and so I came from Southern California, and I moved up here in 2009. And so I grew up doing, 10 scale off road, a lot of dirt oval, and a little bit of on road on an asphalt track. And then I moved up here, and things were a little bit different. I ran a little bit of 8 scale in, let's see, a little bit of 8 scale, a little bit of gas truck, and would have been probably from 2011 to 2012 or 13. And then I took a big break, and it was about the time AJ was born, right? And so I stepped away. And, during that period, I actually RD'd at the Hank for a while, was part of the club. And then took a big break when AJ was born, went and did other things. And I would every now and then run my 12 scale. I got a group of friends that will run a B&B here in Spokane and run 12 scale on road on carpet. Um, but that was pretty much it for the most part. And then, AJ he wanted his own car. He was reluctant. He said he wanted to play with RC cars, and I told him there was a basement full downstairs. He could just have at it. And of course, he wanted his own car, a new car. Looking back, there was a pretty mint double X4 down there that he could have played with, so he blew it on that one. But
Yeah.
yeah, he got his own car. He played with that for a little bit, and it was about that time that Brian Eider built the carpet track. And we played with that for a little bit, and then 22, AJ got an e-buggy, and then by the end of 22, he was running nitro and e-buggy. And I decided I didn't really want to drive anymore and just focus on him. And so that's the program we have now, where I'm his mechanic and he drives. And I'll still play with 12 scale with my buddies every now and then when we have time. But yeah, that's pretty much some background on me.
Okay. And then AJ, I know we talked a little bit about you. You touched on that running the carpet there at HRC. Or what cars were those, and what kind of cars were they?
I raced the TLR and I raced the TLR 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive buggy. I had a pretty pimp 2-wheel drive buggy. I had the Visions conversion kit with the 4-wheel drive rear end. That was pretty sick. I raced that for a while. Raced my 4-wheel for a while. Did quite a few club races, and yeah, I think that just helped me like build my consistency and my raw pace a little bit more.
Sure. And then did you go to dirt pretty much after that first season then, and then kind of just transition right into 8 scale?
Yeah, I mean, I started racing dirt, and I was still doing a little bit of carpet in between each race, but I slowly just started to fade out of it, and it got a little boring after doing so much dirt. But yeah, we were kind of just focusing on the 8 scale portion of my program a little bit more. And like I said, just 10 scale just started getting boring. We started caring about it a little bit less. And I mean, I still enjoy a little bit of 10 scale here and then, but no, the 8 scale program is definitely where it's at for us.
And then when did yeah, when did you guys decide that you wanted to go into nitro as heavy as you guys have been?
Well, he started with e-buggy in the beginning of 22, and it was about midway through that he got a nitro buggy as well, because how could he not? And then by the end of 22, him, and then of course for me, I'm more into the nitro side of things. But I think for him, he was more interested in nitro, and I think a big part of that is like that's the flagship class, right?
Sure.
Like World is coming up this year. That's the only class is nitro buggy, and so that's kind of the echelon of 8 scale off road racing. So he took to that right away. And so it would have been in the end of 22 and then going into 23. I think he'd seen the light by then that nitro buggy, and of course you got to get a truck too because that's the other nitro class. And I think it was the end of 22 was the first time he drove truck, or no, the beginning of 23. Yeah, it would have been the beginning of 23 is when he first drove a truck. It was one of the arena races, one of Brian Phillips' arena races.
Yeah. So right now, the people don't know.
About the time.
Yeah, people don't know AJ. I should have said, like, how old are you now, and when did you start with your short course, the 80 short course?
Right now I'm a solid 13 years old, and I started like my dad said back in about summer of 2021. I was about 9 or 10 years old at the time, so I was still new gen at the time, but
I think you're 9. I think you're going to 9.
I picked up on it pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so 13 and definitely excelled quite quickly. I would say, and I think a lot of other people would say that too. Do you think that you've excelled to the level you are quickly, and how much do you think, being having your dad as your mechanic and him being as deep as he was in the RC community growing up, like he said, really helped and influenced? And what type of conversations have you guys had that have really helped get you to where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely pretty happy with how I've came today with my program, um, especially being so young, not seeing as many younger people out of the track, but not with how many practice days and testing days that we've gone out for, and how many just deep conversations that me and my dad have. We take it very seriously and we're very into it. And I'm like I said, I'm pretty happy with where I am today. I've put in a lot of work. Um, I'm I don't think I could be more happy with where I am, honestly.
I
That's
think the
about.
question was he's asking if you didn't have me, do you think you would suck?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
Yeah,
asked
I
that
mean,
question.
my dad's definitely helped me in a ton.
Oh, absolutely.
I think the reality of it is AJ's very talented, but what he got to skip over a lot of the growing pains, right?
Yeah.
And so especially being 9, 10, 11 years old, that's a lot. Most I mean, it's only been recently that he can get his own wheel nuts off of. Certain ones he's got to ask me to crack them loose for him. Let's put it that way. So I think being so young, unless you have someone, kind of giving you that boost, and even for adults to get into RC cars, there's a lot of growing pains and a lot of things to learn, and a lot of those mistakes are costly. You pay for in money replacing parts, especially in nitro racing. One mistake could be $600. So I definitely think he got the fast track on that just because I've been around. But I will say, as he's better now than I ever was, and so that also pushes me. I have to do better too, because as he gets better, his needs become different and more difficult. And so I've gotten better as a mechanic working with him, and as he's gotten faster and things I have to give him more, right? Um, so I think us working together, we're both excelling and kind of working off each other and getting better quicker. Um, but definitely, I think it's difficult if you don't have someone helping you, and I think that's part of the reason why the whole clinic thing, and we decided to do that is to kind of offer a piece of that back. Um, because if you can give someone that little bit of a boost, and you could cut what would be weeks or months learning curve and do it in a few minutes, that could really excel their program too.
Yeah, no, I do commend you for that. I do understand, and I think that is very, very important. I noticed one thing, and I pay attention to a lot of things at the track, and one of the things I do definitely pay attention is you guys. You guys don't use headsets, and when you're down on pit lane, you guys have. I mean, I don't know if you know that they're signals, but they're definitely what I would say signals, and AJ knows these. So right before he's ready to go out, you do a handful of things, and it doesn't matter what those things are. But I'm glad you guys do it. And why don't you use headsets?
Well, I think
After a few incidents
I
at some
Okay.
certain races.
I think you got to sum that up. At the end of the day, we both know our job. I know what my job is down in pit lane, and he knows what his job is up on the driver's stand. It doesn't benefit him to listen to me, gasp for air and get emotional. That doesn't help his driving, and it doesn't help me focus on paying attention to the race and doing my job to hear him yap while he's driving, right? And let's face it, I don't want to hear what he's got to say while he's up on the stand with the other 12 yappers either. So um we just kind of figured, we both know our job, and there is some things, we do use hand signals for and to communicate. But we pretty much know what we're supposed to be doing. There has been times where I wish I could like give him some full sentences because something's wrong and we need to work it out really quickly. But usually, if you get to that point, you've probably already lost the race anyways. So we do what we need to do via hand signals, and he doesn't have to wear an uncomfortable headset. I don't have to look like a dork with a headset on down in pit lane. We get the motor tuned if he needs some final adjustments. We've done it a million times, and so we've decided just to go with that. Plus, it saves weight on flying.
Sure.
And there was a couple incidents where we just end up yapping, yelling at each other, and fighting. So it just didn't work out. So
Gotcha. That's good. Those are a couple things that I didn't bring up last night, and so I'm glad that we brought those up tonight. And one of the things that we did talk about last night was a little bit on the sponsorship level. I know we talked about, how you guys took on the role of being part of the TLR team and some of the reasons why you did that. What can you talk about as far as getting on to a team, and any advice that you would give to another racer on what they should be looking for from your experience, and when they're looking, or the possibility of multiple offers coming down, and what you look for when you're looking to have AJ get on a team.
I I would say to people that are looking to take their racing seriously, and if their interests are getting onto a team and being a sponsored driver, first and foremost, do not represent a brand or a product that you don't fully support. That's one of the things that we kind of decided early on, and I see too many times people will take a deal rather than a product that will help them succeed in racing. And um, definitely use the brands that you like and then represent them. So then you're doing it wholeheartedly, right?
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
two, and this has been said a ton of times before, but if you're looking to get on a team, don't ask what that team or what that brand can do for you. The real question you should be asking is what can you do for that brand and that team, right?
100%. I'm glad you
You're
said
a
that.
representative of that team, and you're there to do the research, the development. What can you give back to that brand? And there's relationships AJ and I have with some brands, and the goal is always to give back more than we get, right? And to build that brand up, because the bigger you can build that brand, the better that brand can support you. So it's a mutual relationship. Um, Early on, of course, AJ was very young, and we had friends that were on TLR and Horizon, and that's what kind of influenced him and why he wanted to be with them, and so that's what we did. And of course, as Horizon kind of shifted things around and started doing things differently, it just didn't really fit for us anymore. And then that's when we decided to, at the end of 24, matter of fact, we were just took off to go fly to Arizona for the U.S. Open at Adobe, and that's when the Infinity was delivered to the house. The decision was already kind of made, and when we got back, well, I bought the car and then I presented it to him when we got back from Adobe, and then we decided we were gonna do that, and so we privateered that car in 25, um, and it was fun, right? And we did it together. We built the e-buggy, took that to DNC when an e-buggy didn't exist, and we learned together and did some development with that car and helped other people. There's a Facebook group and help people out, kind of figure it out and through the growing pains with that. Um, and then that's kind of when the associated thing came about, and he wanted to be with his friends, and that's ultimately what it came down to. Is he wanted to be with his friends, and so I ended up getting my old car back that I had built years before from a good buddy of ours, and we went and tested that, and it fit him. He liked the car, and here we are.
Yeah, yeah, we talked a little bit about that last night, and that's pretty neat to be able to go full circle, see a car go away, come back, and now your son is taking that car, and I don't know if he's doing things with that car that you couldn't do, but I would assume that that's always just brings a smile to know that car is you drove it, and now he's driving it and making making the car look good. That's the important part, right?
Yeah, he's definitely doing a lot more with that car than I ever did. It was actually interesting. We went through the car. Fortunately, the buddy still had the car. Um, and when we were testing, I remember he made a deal. He wanted me to drive it, and of course, I didn't want to touch it because I don't want to mess it up, right? Like, I got her nice for you. You just drive it, buddy. And so I reluctantly I drove the car, and we got to the point it was feeling good for him. He had good pace with it, and he liked the way it turned. And it was everything I could do just try to do a lap with his car the way he likes it set up. And of course, he's egging me on. He's like, "You got it." I think I'm rolling jumps, and I think I jumped one jump, and he's like, "You good? Go another lap." And I'm over here like, "Oh God." And so, no, it was cool. And yeah, it went full circle. And ironically, his first kid ever wasn't associated. And
Yeah,
so, yeah, back where he started. And so, yeah.
love it. But we hit on some good points there. One of the things that you haven't mentioned yet is the with J and T and that. What can you talk about them and Tyler and promotion? How's that going for you?
I'll let AJ tell that story.
No, I think they're pretty much like a second family to me, you know. They support me like every single race, every single practice, test day, even though like their hometown is obviously in California. I mean, they support me every step of the journey. They're always helping me out. They do. Tyler and Jenny genuinely just try their very best to help me succeed, and they truly believe in me and my program.
Yeah,
You want to tell how that relationship came to be at the U.S. Open?
yeah.
That's
Yeah. So at the U.S. Open, it was funny. I actually made a deal with Tyler,
Well, you made a
and
deal with me.
I made a deal with him and Tyler, whatever the story was. But I ran a set of soft Raptors
Okay.
in Q1 of Nitro Buggy, and I think the bet was if I got like top 20 or something, that we would like join the team. And what do you know? I got a P14 or 13 for the round, beat some pretty fast dudes, and yeah, I pretty much signed the contract at the track.
Right on.
I'll fill in for the good storyteller here. Justin Huglin, who at the time was the team manager for promotion, had always had his eye on AJ. And we were committed to the Horizon and Pro Line TLR, and so we had met. I think that was only the second time we met Tyler in person. And the one thing that struck out to me, and this is just kind of how Tyler and Jenny are as far as their drivers, is AJ wanted to try the tire. And Tyler had just finished gluing a set of tires for himself for his own car, pulled them off his bench, gave them to AJ, and said, "You run these." Brand new. And then AJ went out and he loved the way they felt. I had a deal with him because, of course, back at home, we had probably close to 5 figures worth of, pro line stock at home, right? And so for me, it was a big, money investment to change. And so I made a deal with him. I said, "You get top 20, and at the U.S. Open, the field can be pretty stacked." I said, "You get a top 20, and we'll talk about it." And he went out and he did way better than top 20. I think it was better than 14. Actually, I think it was like a 9 or something. It was pretty good. And so then I knew it cost me a bunch of money, and then we started that relationship with Tyler and Jenny, and it's been great. They're his biggest supporters at the track. Um, yeah, it's those kind of relationships. I would say if people are looking to get sponsored, those are the relationships you want to build. Um,
I have
so
some.
yeah,
I have a
it's been
few
great.
pick.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous changing tire, that being the most, in my opinion, the most important part of the car. But it's been really great. And the Browns and Tyler go above and beyond and striving for the best product possible, and always testing, always new products, and it's been great. And I can't tell you how many races we've been to that I confidently felt good about. We got the best tire here, and
Good.
so I guess AJ's instinct on that one panned out.
Well, that's good. Well, I have a few pictures here. I'm gonna transition over to, and then I'll see if I can slow those down, and maybe we can talk a little bit about each one here. So give me a second to do that, and then we will get going. Hope you can still hear me, Joe. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to get these to slow down a little bit here, and then if you can see those, get them to.
Right, Rider out in truck. How's your first e-buggy? Best buggy ever. Oh, that's a good one. You should go back to that other one actually, because that one, the one where we're walking, you should go to that one because that one actually has some significance.
Okay. Let me see if I can get this one. So I built it as a slideshow, and it's not really wanting to get me to stop here,
Get
but
ready
I
to hit the
will.
two parallel lines.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That right there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
anyways, they saw it. So not too long ago, we had posted for a giveaway for what AJ's first A main in the open nitro class was. Remember that?
Yep.
And then CT.
In the NCT. So that picture was of that event.
Okay.
And that would have been NCT Pasco of 2023. And we did have someone who got the right answer, but he was ineligible. However, he has elected to forfeit the giveaway to another individual. So we'll
Okay.
post that. But anyone who's watching this, they're gonna get the early access on that.
Okay.
But that picture was that
Yeah.
event actually.
Okay. Well, that's cool. No, yeah, I'll work on that, and so maybe sometime I'll show that again on there. So one of the things we didn't talk about last night, put you on the spot, AJ, is I actually don't know the story, and I hope there is a story of the wild child. So what do we know about that? What can you say?
Have you seen him drive?
I mean, to put it simply, I mean, it's kind of just my driving, you know. I mean, I used to be way more erratic and aggressive with my driving, but I've definitely calmed down since then.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of just an idea from my dad, and
Okay.
I was down with it.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, it's not really too much of a story to it. It's kind of just my old driving style.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad. What about the you touched a little bit, Joe, on the next level. Let's talk about that a little bit. I know last night we went into depth on some things, but I really like the idea of why you guys wanted to do it, and explain, the reasons, why you want to do it, and what you're looking forward to as far as expanding it, if you are. A little, let's talk about that.
Yeah, like I was telling you last night, end of the day, the big driving factor is rising tides raise all ships, right?
Hmm.
And we've been traveling a lot, and we go to these bigger RC communities where there's a lot more drivers, a lot bigger events, and you end up racing faster. There's more faster drivers, and so if the idea is to build up, the community here. So here in Spokane and Pasco, in our region, the Northwest region, and if we can give back and get racers up to pace, that makes sure that there's fast racers to push AJ. AJ needs someone to race, and just to get back, and then also the same boost good and the manuals and the electronics. You can get an e-buggy together and be pretty much there. And there's a lot of good YouTube content out there, and you can pick up tips and tricks and get your car pretty much there. But on the nitro side of things, um, you know, it'll hold you back, and a mistake can be costly. So if we can help people with that and to get them up to pace and show them what we're doing, and ultimately that's what we offer is this is how we do it. And especially on the nitro side of things, there's a million ways you could go about it, and so we offer this is how we do it and why, and hopefully save people some frustration and keep them enjoying their hobby, and build RC in the region and build the Northwest to be better. In a perfect world, we would have just a competitive region as Southern California, for instance. Um, Brian Adder, he's helped a lot with that, the carpet track, and he brought nationals to the Northwest, and so just kind of everybody doing their part to kind of carry that momentum to blow RC up in our region. Die Hard over on your guys' side, they do really well over there. They got some fast guys, and it's based on community and building each other up and being competitive with one another.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so that's an idea we had, and we pitched it to in Pasco. And as far as continue to do it, as long as because it's kind of track sponsored, and so as long as the tracks request it and we're going, I mean, we're more than willing to.
Absolutely.
Mhm. Oh.
So I would assume that have you done any clinics yourself, AJ? And if you have, who do you did you like when and what did you pick up from those? If you've traveled around and done any of those in the past?
I mean, I haven't traveled around and done any clinics, but
He's asking,
definitely
have you attended a clinic?
that's well. Let me finish.
Okay.
But I liked doing the Adam Drake clinics that he did when he would come up for the rage events.
Yeah.
He would do a track walk and some tech tips, just like me and my dad would do.
Hmm.
And yeah, I definitely learned quite a bit from those, just getting those nice, smooth, consistent lines. And then obviously tips from somebody like Adam. He's been in the industry for a while, so he definitely knows what's going on. But that definitely helped me just grow as a person and just like get my setup a little bit more dialed in, especially with the help from my dad.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
just some special little tips. He definitely helped me with a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've done a pretty good job tonight, I think, here, guys. I know I put out there that, I'd like to have some more questions, some more time. Next Thursday, you guys are going to be doing your clinic, so we'll definitely skip that one. And then the week after, let's regroup again for part two, and we can talk maybe about the first round, and at that time, the second round of the NCT and how that went for you. And we'll and have some more questions and talk about what's coming up next. I know you guys have Worlds coming up toward the end of summer there, so we can touch on that and talk about some things. So um, if you guys are good and don't want to talk about anything else, we'll end the interview with you guys. But I appreciate your time and the great feedback from both you, Joe and AJ, and anything you wanna add.
Yeah, anytime you want to chat. Yeah, I think we're excited for the NCT. We plan on running most of the races, I think. I think there's only a couple we're going to miss just because timing with Worlds and then other events. But yeah, excited to see the NCT pick up momentum. Right now, that is the flagship series here in the Northwest, and we hope everybody can make it out and see them out at the track.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. I don't have an actual count. I think we're in right now in pre-signups. We're probably a little over 100 right now, and we're still a week away. So I know more will come next week, and of course, we get a bunch on Friday. I believe signups. We're closing signups down, mid-afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock. Of course, Ryan Rivas is going to be RD for the rest of the series, and we've talked about bring in seating into the program now. That's going to help our Saturday program speed up, and it's going to bring people together, in qualifying day that would be running maybe possibly not in the same qualifier. Do you have any input on seating, AJ or Joe, in what you've ran in the past?
Yeah, I definitely don't mind having seating at the end of practice. I think it's nice to have similar pace guys going into Saturday. I also think it's nice to kind of hash out some transponders Friday night, especially if everyone's getting plenty of practice, depending on the head count. Going in, those first few heats Saturday morning kind of set the pace for the rest of the day. No, I think it's a great idea. And what do you think?
Yeah, I think seating definitely helps, especially with after what happened at Pasco. But I mean, no, just being in a heat with people your same speed, you don't have the problem with coming up on lap traffic and just people being in the way. It's just nicer to race with the people that you know you're gonna battle with later in the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Well, all right. Cool, guys. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. What's on the docket for the weekend? Anything RC related?
Yeah, scrambling to get ready for next weekend.
Gotcha. There you go.
Yeah, always stuff to do. Super busy. Get cars built, get everything packed up. Fortunately, this one's close to home for us, so if we forget anything, we can just drive back home and get it.
Yeah, that's great.
Right?
And we'll
So, yeah, get your cars ready, and we'll start to see everybody here in about a week, actually.
Yeah,
Week from
absolutely.
today.
One of the topics I want to talk about is your guys' RC room and the setups you guys have there. So think about that for next time we chat. And I'll see you guys next weekend, of course. So appreciate it, Joe. Appreciate it, AJ.
Yeah.
Say hi to the family and all that, and we will talk to you guys soon.
All right, we'll see you.
See ya. You bet. All right, guys. Let me make sure that they are turned off. And going on to the next thing. So next weekend, of course, May 22nd, 24th, there in Spokane, Washington for the Hank Perry 240. We're sitting at about 106 entries, it looks at right now, for just pre-signups. And we know that number will increase. Definitely want to get to the 200 plus entries. We know that that's a good number all around. I don't have the map, the new map in line, but we have a little camping adjustment. We'll get that posted up for you guys. So that's just a little different this year at the Hank. Of course, go to the Shopify store to be able to do that. And there's some new features on there that we've been working on. So hopefully everybody can appreciate and enjoy that. And Ryan Rivas, of course, is going to be bringing us all our weekend RDing. And of course, the clinic for AJ and Joe, next level, will be Thursday. I believe there's still one more spot available for that. So we do want that to get filled up. So anyone there that can come local on Thursday night can enjoy, all the great things that AJ and Joe have to offer within their own team, and obviously the team that they've been on with AE, and even back to some support to Infinity or TLR that they have. They can pass those on, and like I talked about with them, with Adam, some things I'm sure that he picked up from Adam at the clinics that he's been to, and he wants to pass those on to the RC community. So anyway, great talk this week, guys. Appreciate that, and we will do something next Thursday. It won't quite be as in depth as what this one is, but thanks for everybody's time, and we will talk to you soon.